So this is Michelle from your Theories of Play course, and I'm getting a lot of questions about the analysis of play assignment that's due Friday, a couple of days from now. So I thought instead of answering the individual questions I'm getting, I'm going to try really hard to just restate and try a little bit to go into the document itself and say, first of all, this is not an assignment that I wrote. This is your Hallmark assignment for this course, as I understand it. But more important, it's Dr. Adams' assignment that she created, and it's not something that I have liberty to change or alter in any way, and I will be scoring it based on her directives. And also I'm scrolling down so you can see here's the table where the rubric is. So I will be using her rubric to score your assignments. And so I just wanted to make sure that was clear. So here's how I read this. In the procedures, you've done your hour and a half of observations. It was suggested that you bring the tables to fill in for notes while you were observing, but you didn't have to. You will be submitting your notes as part of this assignment. And then it asks that you retype, right here it says, retype your handwritten notes into the tables that you created, synthesizing the observation and embedding your handwritten notes into the Word document. So there's two directives. Some of you have asked about how to present this. So there's two things that I see. Add specific examples of the principles and pillars into the table in your paper. And so here's where we get into her further directives. Of course, you have to have APA standards in terms of, how you write the paper. And please make sure that you use the underline headings in your paper, she says. So I'm just wondering if you were to read this over, literally sentence by sentence, if you might find the answers to some of your questions. So I'm just kind of pointing out where they are. And it does say that it includes a classroom description, anecdotal notes of one child and the adults. Okay, and here are the bulleted points that you have to have. And then your pillars of learning, it goes through them 1, 2, 3, 4. Just read over those, and I think you can find the answers to how she wants this presented. And then in this section, she's asking you to create a table, and then on top of that, write 2 paragraphs comparing the principles and noting similarities and differences. So I think that there's a lot to this assignment, and it's going to really require you to go in, take a deep dive into these sections, and you'll see what she's asking you to do and how she wants it presented. I'm not getting very many questions about the what. I'm getting a lot of questions about how she wants it presented. So I would just read this very carefully, as I will be too, by the way, because again, when you don't write an assignment yourself, it's sometimes you really have to dive in like a student would and say, okay, what is being asked of the students here? So I will be scoring these, and I will also say that if Dr. Adams comes back and says, oh, this or that or the other in terms of the assignment grades, I will certainly be willing to take direction from her. So I want to be really sure. I mean, I feel confident about being able to do it, or I wouldn't have accepted this position. But I want to be really honest with you and say, I'm really following what's here. So I'm trying to point out to you what's here that she gave you, and hopefully it will answer your questions. If it still doesn't answer the how part for you, do what you feel is best, your best understanding of this. And when I score it, if I have questions, I will look at it with you and we'll both decide together if it needs a little tweaking. You will not be penalized for that. We'll work on it together and we'll get it in the shape that I think she expects it to be in. So I hope that's helpful to you. Just know that whatever you turn in, we'll look at together if we need to. I have every confidence that you can do this. But I also know that a lot of you have questions. Just do your best with what's written here and know that I will work with you.